Hey guys, we're going to start with wide receivers right now. At number 5 coming out, you got Calvin Johnson. Yes, a Detroit player. The 0-16 last year Lions. Yes, Calvin Johnson. He's going to be fine this year. I mean, he was great last year. He was fantastic. He was superb. The best, if think about it, he did that coming from an 0-16 team, technically the best receiver there was last year in fantasy, although the numbers didn't show it. But if he could do the point up the points and the yardage and the touchdowns he did last year on the 0-16 Lions, then he deserves to be in the top 5 this year. And he's going to be even better this year because they got Matt Stafford with the number 1 pick, and at some point I see him starting, and he's another one of those guys who's got a big arm, could bomb it down the field to Calvin Johnson, get him a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns, so he's going to be just fine. At number 4 coming in, I got Steve Smith. He's good every year, no matter what. I mean, he had one down year the last couple of years, mostly because of injuries. And this training camp, he had a shoulder injury. But from what I read and what I hear, he's come back fine. So there's going to be no big issues with him. He's going to have another good year, and they have 2 very good running backs down there, which are going to take a lot of pressure off of him, and D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. So he's going to be fine. Only question I have about him maybe is if Jake Delhomme gets hurt again or has a down year himself, then maybe Steve Numbers will get hurt. But I don't think it's going to be too bad. He's going to get the same number of touchdowns and receptions that he always does. At number 3, I got Randy Moss. I mean, there's nothing else you have to say, really. I mean, this year he's got Tom Brady coming back from the knee injury. And last year he still put up pretty good fantasy numbers with Matt Castle, a guy who only had, through 5 passes between high school and last year's start. And he had pretty good numbers last year. And this year you get Tom Brady back, arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And his numbers won't be hurt at all. He's going to do better this year. I don't know if it'll be quite the same that it was the first year Moss showed up in New England and had 23 touchdowns and some insane amount of yardage. But he'll have double-digit touchdowns, and I'm seeing around 1,300 yards, maybe. Don't quote me on that one. At number 2 coming in, I have, it's really 1A and 1B because these guys are tied in my opinion, is Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald, I mean, he's a sick freak. He can be in triple coverage, jump up, catch the ball, break all the tackles, and go to the end zone. And Kurt Warner is going to be fine this year. He's going to have another good year. And then at 1A, like I said, tied is Andre Johnson. I think this guy would get a lot more credit than he's given, but he's in Houston, which is no one knows who's technically in Houston except for Mario Williams, who was the big debate first-year pick, and Steve Slayton. But he's good. He's really good. I've seen more of his games because I live in Texas and get the games sometimes, and he's really good. I think he's just as good as Larry Fitzgerald, and I think last year he would have had better fantasy numbers had Matt Schwab not gotten hurt, and then that forced the backup to come in, which hurt his numbers a little bit. But Matt Schwab is healthy this year. He's looking good, which means that Andre Johnson's numbers will be just as good as ever, and I'm predicting no problems at all. And, if you're in the position where you could take Fitz or Andre, just flip a coin because you're basically getting the same receiver. It's just a matter of, do you want an older quarterback and Kurt Warner to throw into him, or do you want a guy who might get injured again at Matt Schwab? But either way, they're the same person, and they're both going to be fine no matter what happens. So, yeah. Alright, coming up next, I'm going to do tight ends, defense, and special teams all in one video because defense and kickers and stuff like that, and it's all just kind of not really can explain it. It's just how I feel and what's going to happen. Alright.